Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome tonight. I seem hope you are great. So I am sure majority of you may have seen this video from the other channel, but this is a different stitch altogether, right? So a white man is pissed. I think they said he's a MAGA, right? He is really pissed that someone that doesn't look like him has a Lexus car, and to him that car is worth over 100,000 US dollars. So he is pissed. Why would it be him? In his own word, that he has been grinding, he's been working so hard. How come someone that is not this came to this neighborhood and was able to buy this? Why was he able to afford it? Black people, I am going to say this. I know how hard you guys work, and I know how much effort you put in into whatever you do. Why? Because if you don't work hard, you will never get to that level that you aspire. Why? Because people that look like me do not get all that opportunity in a platter of gold, but they do. So for you to level up, you have to really work so hard to be where you are. So with all your hard work and all that, somebody is pissed that why would you have what you have? Now, when I tell you this, I always tell black people this. Some people do not think that you deserve anything good. So when you have it, they are uncomfortable. You are making them uncomfortable. So he is not happy that you have a car. Let's get into this video.
This is what a MAGA mind is.
Brand spanking new Lexus SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into. I don't understand it.
Why? Oh, yeah. Here's this guy right here in his brand new Lexus.
There he is, right there.
Right there. That guy right
It's what Make America Great Again has always meant to certain people. It's never been about patriotism. It's always been about hierarchy, about making sure black people stay in a place that makes them comfortable. Because let's be honest, imagine living in a country where 400 years you receive every privilege available. Free labor for almost 2 centuries, millions of acres of free land through the Homestead Act, government assistance when black folks were excluded, white veterans received GI Bills as attended college when black veterans who served the country faithfully did not, white home ownership through FHA loans that black people didn't get while black families were redlined into poverty. There was affirmative action for white folks long before the phrase was ever even created. Let me name a few more. Tax benefits, union protections, government contracts, Social Security programs that originally excluded black labor, corporate subsidies, banking systems built on predatory denial of black access, policing designed to guard white prosperity, and the unspoken privilege of always being seen and deserving, and all that for generations. And yet here we are, after everything designed to hold us back, we still here. It makes them a failure. We're still educating ourselves, still building businesses. It makes them a failure. Still growing wealth, still buying homes, still pulling up in our Lexuses. That makes them a failure. We still thrive in the ways this country has never planned for us to thrive. And it makes them feel like failures. Because that's what they are. That's why it bothers them. Because to them, our success is what it is. It makes them failures. They feel better when they can look down on us. They feel safer when we have to struggle. They feel whole when we are broken. So when they say make America great again, what they are really saying is let's go back and reset the hierarchy. Let's put them back in their place, which is beneath us. Let's strip away any progress that they've made. Let's take away all their rights, all their opportunities, all the wins that make them feel equal. Because for us to feel equal, it makes them feel like failures. Because they've had every advancement known to man, and yet here we are, and that's why our excellence is so powerful, y'all. Because every time we disrupt the narrative they depended on for 400 years, every time we win and we break the system that was never designed for us to succeed, every time we shine, we expose the weakness of a structure built on stolen labor, stolen land, and stolen wealth. It's their failure. This is why our success is revolutionary. It's not just about your car, your house, or your lifestyle. It's a reminder that despite every barrier placed in our way, we still here, thriving, winning, and redefining greatness in our terms. And they are still what they are. Failures. Now drop a black fist in the comments and share this with someone who needs to hear this.
Meanwhile, back at racism headquarters.
And spanking new Lexus SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into.
There he is, right there.
right there.
Look at that vehicle.
Yeah.
I love this video. Poor white trash complaining about black people having a little more than them. Yeah, they're poor white trash. You know, come on, even white people know what poor white trash looks like. They're just like, I can't believe it. This guy got a brand new SUV. He got a brand new SUV. How is that possible? How is that possible? It's called improvement of life. It's called, I have a better job than you. That's what I think it is. What do you mean, how is that possible? How is that possible for anybody to get a brand new car or a better job or a better house? Things in their life have worked out for them. They probably worked really hard and found ways to get out of the situation they're in. It's called human progress, you bozo. That's what it's called. But if black people do it, you go, well, hell, God damn it, I'm a white man, huh? I'm white. I should just get things handed to me. How the f is it just gonna get a brand new SUV, huh? How the f is that? God damn it, I'm just sitting here with my thumb in my ass and in my, trailer park home. And they should be delivering privilege to me. I should have jobs delivered to my trailer home. I should have all that in a nice little package. You know what I'm saying? And this black mother, he has a goddamn SUV. How the hell does that happen? I can't believe, how do these blacks do it, man? I don't know. You've redlined black people. You didn't give jobs to black army people after World War I and II. You redlined, you segregated, you burned up black towns. You did all that. Segregation, slavery, we can just keep going. It's out of order, but hey, mass incarceration, police brutality, not selling to black people houses, defunding schools, not giving them any of the benefits, anything, making laws to disenfranchise black people, and you're sitting your dirty, funky ass with nothing because you mad because some nigga got a SUV. How's that possible? It's because you're mediocre as That's why. You had a head start, man. 1776. You know those mediocre motherfuckers with the powdered wigs and the pantyhose? They made it possible for bums like your ass to make it. And you didn't. Huh? And guess what? There are whites out there that are better than you. That are actually better than you that don't f with you either. Meanwhile, back at racism headquarters.
And spanking new Lexus SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into.
There he is, right there.
Right there.
Look at that vehicle.
Yeah. I love this video. Poor white trash complaining about black people having a little more than them. Yeah, they're poor white trash. You know, come on, even.
So yet again, what we have here is another stupid ass nigga spreading false information. Notice how he cut the clip off right before he was about to say an illegal immigrant. Fucking people these days, I swear. You know, the other day, I commented on a guy saying that he's spreading false information, and he decided to try to attack me, say he was going to unalive me and this and that. People like that need to get sued for false information.
This SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life.
When I bought an entry-level Porsche, I actually got this reaction. Old white men were literally seething that I was driving an entry-level Porsche. I'm driving a Taycan. I didn't think it was a big deal. It's my daily driver. I go everywhere in it. But what I noticed was every time I drove around or go to the service center, I get weird looks from old white men, like they're jealous. You could sense it. It's like they're either angry, jealous, or confused by an Asian woman driving a luxury car in the Bay Area, which is wild to me because a lot of Asians are wealthy here. But what I noticed, when men of color go up, they're congratulating me. I remember the first time Taycans weren't regular at the time. It was 2021. Saw my car. He's like, nice car. Yeah. And then when I drive around, especially black men, they're like, yeah. Compliments always from POC. I love that. They're so supportive. But when a white man sees me in my Porsche, especially when it was rare back then, nah. And I think I know the reason for that. The Bay Area, notoriously the South Bay and Peninsula, a lot of the old communities that were white were working class. And now they see a bunch of foreigners coming in, making more money than them, buying nicer things than them. And they probably don't like that. They're like, why is it not me? I'm better than them. Well, I don't know what to say. But I think that's the reason why. Anyways, I don't care. I love triggering them, especially when I go in their spaces. Like, be mad, bitch. Stay mad.
I know the fuck people that are MAGA are not concerned about how the hell immigrants can drive around in a luxury vehicle. Y'all are slow. Y'all are really fucking slow. So let me just give you a little insight. Immigrants will go and live 4 couples to a fucking house. And you know what they do? They support each other. They provide for each other. What one couple can't do, the other couple does for them. And they continue this until one couple is in a position where they can actually buy another house and then move some other people in with them. And they continue this. Their vehicles should not be your concern. You're worried about a car that may cost $60,000? They already bust their asses. So you mean to tell me now you want to dictate what the fuck they ride around in? I swear to God, y'all ain't got shit else to fucking better to do with y'all motherfucking lives. God damn.
And my question is, girl, did y'all even wash y'all ass today? Because y'all motherfuckers was looking dingy as fuck while you over there pocket watching and call yourself pressed because a brown person is driving a luxury vehicle. Bitch, did you do yourself the luxury and wash your ass? Did you do that? Y'all be worried about the wrong shit. But with that being said, this is the mindset, that was the catalyst for many black town and settlement being burned to the ground during Reconstruction. This is why. Poor white trash mad because black and brown people got stuff and they don't. That was literally mad because while that person who was driving that Lexus was probably stacking their checks, they was smoking up theirs. But you mad at the person driving the Lexus. Girl, I worked my whole life to get in this neighborhood and they can just drive a Lexus and they can just do what they want. Like, girl, maybe they're not blue collar like you. Maybe they're white collar. Maybe they got a nice cushy tech job. Okay, girl, you don't know what people going. Maybe they just saved their money. Like I said, maybe they was stacking checks instead of smoking up their checks. Maybe they know somebody who work at a Lexus dealership who got them a deal on the low. You don't know. And you didn't talk to your neighbor, so how could you know? And at this point, if your neighbor sees this online, they don't want to talk to you no more. It's like, girl, because you just expose yourself as a jealous motherfucker, a jealous, hating ass motherfucker. Absolutely not. And instead of the takeaway being, isn't it nice that people from diverse backgrounds, that if we all work hard and want something out of life, we can all strive and achieve and live in a nice ass neighborhood like this, a nice community like this? That should have been the discussion. Instead, it's dingy, dirty motherfuckers mad because somebody pushing a Lexus and they pushing a hoopty. They pushing a truck. Okay, girl, but you blue collar girls, I thought y'all love your pickups. Like, why are you mad about a Lexus when you don't even like that shit? I thought you girls love a good Chevrolet, a good Ford, a good Dodge, a good Ram. I thought that's what y'all like. So why is you worried about that motherfucking Lexus? Oh, because they black, they brown, and according to you, they ain't supposed to have it? Girl, please. Like, while a Lexus is a very much luxury vehicle, it's an obtainable luxury. You act like they pushing a Bugatti, but even if they did, you didn't pay for shit. You didn't pay for that shit. So why is you mad, girl? Pull yourself up by them bootstraps, girl. Stop smoking up your paycheck, girl. And you can have some shit.
SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into. I don't understand it.
Here's this guy right here in his brand new Lexus.
There he is,
There
right
he
there.
is, right there. That guy right there. That's
Look at that vehicle.
Yeah, that's an immigrant.
That's an immigrant with a $100,000 Lexus.
Yeah.
So mystery solved. It's never been about public safety. It's never been about criminals. It's never been about immigration status and following the law. You're just jealous. You've been in this country your entire life and you still live in a trailer. You've been in this country your entire life and you still have below 500 credit score. You've been in this country your entire life and you have never left the same old small town you live in. And then you see these foreigners, these immigrants, that within 5 years, they're buying late model vehicles you could only dream of. That they're moving out of their trailer in 10 years and are buying their first home. They are now homeowners, something you will never claim, achieve. You will never have a piece of America. And these foreigners come to this country, moving to your neighborhood, and suddenly, boom, they own their own business. And you're just green with envy, aren't you? You can't stand the fact that you've been in this country, the most powerful country in the world, the country of opportunity, and yet you're still collecting food stamps? You're still on welfare? You're missing your front teeth? You're still in the trailer that is just waiting for the next hurricane to pick you up? This is what it's always been about. It has never been about public safety. You need to accept the fact that you don't have the thrive, the hunger, and the motivation that these people have. And I include myself in that because I was homeless when I came to this country. I have never been homeless since. Let's just call it what it is, shall we?
New Lexus SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into.
Wait, what? It's usually the other way around. Usually it's rich people saying, why are you here if you're not driving a BMW, if you're not driving a Mercedes? This guy is saying that his immigrant neighbor is doing better than him, and therefore he should be shamed for it? I don't understand. First of all, how is it possible to drive a $100,000 Lexus? It's not that hard. There's plenty of ways to do that. Anyway, back to the point. And the point is you being jealous and racist. Integrate into the neighborhood that you've worked your whole life to get into, and then you bash him for driving a $100,000 Lexus? What the? Surely there must be a grown-up in this family, right? Dang, never mind. Roll the clip.
He is
There
right
he
there.
is, right there. That guy right there, that's a
Look at that vehicle.
Yeah, that's an immigrant.
That's an immigrant with a $100,000 Lexus.
There it is. That's an Asian guy. He's an immigrant. Why is he driving a $100,000 Lexus? Come on. I think you're just mad because you have to face the reality of knowing that your skin color does not dictate the level of your success.
Brand spank.
Hey, family and friends, I want to have a quick discussion about the MAGA guy that's gone viral, talking about he don't understand how he's worked so hard to obtain the things he has while there's a black person driving a Lexus. First of all, truthfully, if I could say this wholeheartedly, if he had the money to buy the Lexus, he wouldn't have bought the Lexus. And let me tell you why. Majority of the issues we have in the United States is because the people that run this country are low budget mentality. And they dirty. That's true. I had a discussion with my daughter about, the city we live in and things of that nature, how you have one side of the city looks opulent, is clean, is nice looking, everybody wants, and then you have the black side of the city that is run down, trashy, just not well taken care of. So I threw it back on the government. Because I said, if the government runs the whole city, the reason why that side of town looks like that because the government is trash. It's either all or none. You do not get to bring people into your city and brag about certain parts of town when this other side look like garbage. Because for you to let that happen, you got garbage in you. You have a low budget mentality. Because it's like cleaning half the house. The bathroom clean, but the rest of the house look like trash. So I'm just going to show you this side of the house, but this side of the house is raggedy, and I want you to think I'm a clean, neat person. No, you trash. So with that being said, that mentality is like they have to have garbage somewhere in the vicinity for them to feel comfortable. Think about it. Every city has that. But you collect everybody's tax dollars and the whole city don't benefit from that because it's a garbage, low budget mentality. There's a lot of people who have money and look like trash. And they tell you it's because we don't spend our money on unnecessary things. We hold on to our money as if they're taking it to heaven or hell. That is something in them that they are okay with. And we not the same. It ain't sometimes about me flossing for other people or trying to impress other people. Sometimes it just make me feel good. It's something I wanted to do for me. And sometimes people think it's for everybody else. Just because you can see it don't mean it was for you. So in a society that is controlled by low vibrational, low budget people, you see more trash than you see anything else. There are pockets of little fancy, high end. But the majority, think about it. What does the majority look like? And they blame it on the people. That now you have all the resources. And if this is your country and majority of it's trash, it's because you have a trash mindset. So what they been saying, that MAGA guy, if he had the money, he wouldn't have bought that Lexus. Let's get real. He wouldn't. That's not in you. It's not. I can just tell you about a whole facade. People who drive Lexuses 9 out of 10 is not just the car that look like that. Now, a lot of people who invest money and got a whole bunch of money will say, they say all they want. They say all the trappings of what white folks say. But at the end of the day, you get one life. You get to choose how you live it. And I told a guy one time, so I could either choose to drive a Lexus in my 30s, the way society's set up, or choose to drive it when I'm 90, the way the society's set up. Until something else changes. So I just want to get out there. This country has a low budget mindset walking around as if it's not that. This nation wouldn't look like that if they had high value. If they would, it would look totally different. I'm out.
I just love that video of the couple that's angry about their immigrant neighbor driving around in a Lexus is going viral because it just shows what this whole thing has been about from the beginning, right? They talk about legality, etc. That's just an excuse. Honestly, they're just mad that they see other people that are not having the things that they were always told they would have just because they are. Right? And so now they're learning, they're seeing that it doesn't take just to be able to have. It actually takes resiliency, hard work, dedication, being consistent, right? Things that maybe not a lot of them are good at. But you know who is good at that? People who are immigrants.
Brand spanking new Lexus SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into. I don't understand it.
Why? Oh, yeah. Here's this guy right here in his brand new Lexus.
There he is,
there
right
he
there.
Is, right there.
That guy right there, that's a
look at that vehicle.
Yeah, that's an immigrant.
That's an immigrant with a $100,000 Lexus.
Yeah.
It is so hard for a certain group of people to believe that anybody else could be successful because the system was rigged specifically for them, right? We see it time and time again. History has shown us how policies have been put in place for them to succeed. So if they aren't successful and they work so hard, how can it be that a person of color, how can it be that a Latino or a black person can be successful? They just don't get it. And that's when envy comes into play. And that's why they voted the way they did. Because they were hoping that this would give them a leg up. Not realizing they have the leg up by just being this. and still can't figure it out. Instead of focusing on themselves, instead of asking, how did they do it so I can do the same? Instead of being happy for others and knowing it'll be my turn one day. They envy, they hate, and they call anybody who is a Latino an illegal, and how dare they, and how could they? Hatred, racism runs deep, and it's expensive.
I freaking swear, the audacity, what is it, caucasity of some people. I'm gonna just play it.
Brand spanking new Lexus SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into. I don't understand it.
Why? Oh, yeah. Here's this guy right here in his brand new Lexus.
There he is,
there
right
he
there.
is, right there.
That guy right there. That's a
Look at that vehicle.
Yeah, that's an immigrant.
That's an immigrant with a $100,000 Lexus.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You're upset that he's driving that luxury vehicle? Like, bro, be angry at your ancestors. You had a 400-year head start, and your ancestors couldn't get it right? Like, bro, don't be mad because they come here to work. Like, they know they need at least 2 to 3 jobs just to make it out here. That's how they're able to afford these type of things. They don't come to play games. They don't take vacation. They're working 24/7, 7 days a week. That's how they're able to afford this. It's not the government giving them a handout. It's them busting their ass. What you should be doing. And instead of looking at that person like they stole it or something, how about you go to your neighbor and you ask them like, hey, how are you able to afford this? And they'll tell you, hey, I got 3 jobs. I don't have a day off. I don't take vacations. I barely spend any money. Nonsensical things. I'm pretty sure they'll tell you that. They'll give you the roadmap to make sure you can have a vehicle just like him because you're jealous that you can't afford one after 40 years.
This is revolutionary. It's not just about your car, your house, or your lifestyle. It's a reminder that despite every barrier placed in our way, we still here, thriving, winning, and redefining greatness in our terms. And they're still what they are. Failures. Now drop a black fist in the comments and share this with someone who needs to hear this gem.
Ooh-wee, man. That was smoking. I ain't got no problem with that. Shoe fit, wear it, man. Shoe fit, wear it. If it don't apply, let it fly. She is absolutely right. For us to win, for us to be equal, makes them feel like failures. Ooh, that's deep right there, fam. That's deep to have a 400-year start, and you look around and you see black people passing you up financially. That's got to do something to the ego. That's got to do something to the ego. And she's right. That's what this is really about. That's why they burned down Tulsa. That's why they did it. That's why they burned down all the other towns that existed where black people were self-sufficient and independent. They were self-contained. We had our own banking system, our own schools, our own churches, which ain't that big of a deal because we still got a whole bunch of churches and not really a lot of prosperity. But we have our own hospitals. Everything that it took, grocery stores, everything that it took for society to have to be vibrant, to be progressive, we had all of that, and we were self-governed. And they didn't like that. So each time they undermined and they figured out a way to destroy it. Yeah, and what they did oftentimes is they weaponized law enforcement and the laws. They just redlining, you know what? We're not going to allow anybody to get any loans that lives in these zip codes.
This is all I got from this video. I remember posting this video on Simnaya, but then I am seeing more stitches to the video, so I decided to do a different stitches also, so you guys can also see this. I really do not understand why somebody will be pissed over what somebody drives. It's really stupid, very stupid, because I am supposed to focus on myself, not sitting outside, you know, and watching the cars that people that are not white that live in your environment drives. It's actually, you are actually either a witch or a wizard. Pick whichever one that suits you perfectly well, because that is what you are. Moving forward. Now, let me tell you, I am going to use black people as an example because black people are the ones that I talk about. I don't talk about mostly about any other person. All right? This thing really, I don't know, the first day I saw this video, I was really triggered. Why was I triggered? Because I have read so many histories about black people, what happened, black prosperous communities and all that, and how they are still moving forward and still looking for a way to, like, you know, make their life better. Because anybody that can sit down to analyze your wealth without even knowing what you do, what you have in your pocket, how you even got the car and all that, can actually do more, because analyzing that alone must have taken you a lot of energy and hatred. I said what I said. Yeah. I remember reading about Rosewoods and all that, those beautiful black neighborhoods that were doing great, that all of a sudden something happened and we learned that it was riot, in their own words. You know, everything is always a riot, not until you read. And then you find out that it was not riot, that they use riot to confuse people that do not know their history. That is also one of the reasons why I told myself that I will never, ever let another human being that is not a black person tell me about black history or black stories. Even you, as if you don't also know, I cannot also learn from someone that don't know a lot, because don't teach me nonsense. I've been able to acquire knowledge on some certain things that I can actually tell you when somebody is lying and when someone is not lying. I will keep that aside. So you and I could remember what happened to black prosperous neighborhood community that were doing great. They have their things. I have also seen some of the videos, like, you know, during lunch break, how they do their thing and all that, where they were, like, you know, well put together. And one day something happened. And that thing that happened changed their lives. I don't know if I should say it was not for good, because you can't tell me that you take away somebody's property or you burn somebody's house and you're telling me that it was not for good. Because, like, literally everything burned. And this one is actually out here analyzing why you have a car. Or because he works so hard, he grinds so hard. How come you have it and he does not have it? This is how wickedness starts. And this is how wishes operate. Because if you are not a witch, tell me how you are mad about how my neighbor, I don't even know my neighbor, how my neighbor is doing and the car he drives. And it is from this that one day he will wake up and go and puncture the tire, because he is tired of seeing you driving the car all the time. Wickedness on the highest level. People really do work hard. Whether black or brown, people really do work so hard that you are not working hard enough, or you are not working smart enough like they do. And moreover, because we live in the same neighborhood does not mean that you are supposed to be richer than me, because to you guys, they think that they are the standard. That is what it means. How can an immigrant or something like that, someone that is not white, have this kind of car? Because you are not expected to have all the good things of life. I mean, it's supposed to be them that should have it, not you. You got what I'm saying? That is the madness. That is the madness people put up with. That was one of the reasons why black neighborhood, all of a sudden something happened to it and they decided to lie to the people that they were lie that it was a mass riot. When you intentionally spot somebody's thing and you want to lie to me as how? We know what happened. So this is still the same energy that this one is bringing. Before you know what is going on, something will happen to that young man's car. Black people or other people work really hard to be where they are. Why? Because whatever they get, anything they have to work harder than any other person in order to achieve it. You guys do not struggle like black people struggle. And for those, it's always somebody that doesn't know anything that will say, this person is lying, this effing N-word. Keep using that word till you go to the wrong neighborhood and use it. And then you got the redesign, God's work. When your face got redesigned, I'm going to call it God's work. The day I will see any of them with some kind of faces or face, I will call it design from God. When you want to say that word, sometimes go to a neighborhood, some kind of neighborhood, and say it. You guys sang, or Justin Odin said, go to the sundown town. Let's see if you can make it back. He was talking to black people about sundown town because he knew that we don't make it when we go to sundown town. But I am going to sing, and people were defending him. Then some people are really some people are really bullshit. I am going to say, go to the wrong neighborhood and sing that, and say that. Come back, let's see what happens. Man, I am gonna draw the curtain here. Bye for now.